You know, I was getting ready this morning and I realized that there are several parents out there that are forced to be teachers. I guess I shouldn't say forced because it's actually a gift to be able to help people learn new things. Now, I've been an instructor for about 15 years and I have taken every child early learning class there is in an effort to be able to put that material into our books. I know that if you look at our company from the outside, it looks like we are just playing with doll friends. But it's so much more than that. It's about learning. And so I thought I would just depart some of the things that I've learned about teaching to my friends so that you may have a more confidence in doing your homeschooling. Now, the first thing that I really think this is the most important thing, it's important to understand how your child learns. Now, I'm not an artist, but I can at least get you the concepts. There are four modalities, learning modalities. These are the ways that people pick up information and allow to assimilate it or bring it inside. And so one of the modalities is hearing. Then we have visual, people who they see things and they pick things up. Perhaps they need to do it, they need to touch it, they need to feel it. And then of course there's the actual practicing, the doing of it. The key thing is to learn your child. What is their natural way of learning? When you force a person or a child into learning outside of their modality, it's harder for them to learn and they can get very frustrated. And so, for instance, how would you learn that? If you watch a child and they're doing math, let's say, and they're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's a key. They're visual. They're visual learners. If you have someone who is, counting out things, like we can go into our garden and we can count rocks. 1, 2, 3. This is tactile. They like to touch things. They need to experience things in order to really absorb it, for it to stick in their minds. And then hearing. There are people that maybe you have seen in your life where they hear it and they can remember it. And that's because their learning modality is auditory. It's hearing it, so they need to hear it. The other thing, as I mentioned, is touching, and then there's doing. And so I used to teach fitness for many years. I was a personal trainer as well. And what we learn in teaching those skills is we teach in blocks. So we'll teach one thing for them to do, and then we have them do it. Then we add something to that and have them do A plus B. And then we have them repeat those two together over and over. Then we add a third thing, and we have them just do that third thing, and then we add a fourth thing, and we have them do the fourth thing, and then we add we'll just call that A and B, and then C and D. We'll have them practice C and D, C and D, C and D, and then we put one block together with the next block, A and B, C and D, A and B, C and D. You see, learning is by repetition. Whether you learn by seeing it, touching it, doing it, it needs to be repeated. Now, here's the other thing that's really exciting, is that your mind works together in concert. And so when you put all the modalities together, you're able to reinforce learning and memory. So you have a person, whether regardless of their modality, you tell them so they hear it, and then they see it, so you show them, and then you allow them to touch it, make it tangible for them, and then have them do it. So when you put all of these processes together, learning becomes a natural way of learning. Math is one of my favorites. My son had a problem when he was younger with math, and a lot of children do. And so I had sent him to a tutor, and he was like, well, Mom, I don't want a tutor because that means I'm stupid. And it's like, no, honey, that means that you're privileged. When you have someone that is willing to sit down with you and help you, you are able to learn more. And so it's important for us to take that effort and that time to sit down and just work with them and let them experience that process of you being their mentor. So this period of time in your child's life is very important for the both of you. Now, I brought some fun things to do with math. You can teach math to young kids very fun, particularly now. Like I showed you my rocks from the garden. So you can go out to a young child and say, go out and find me 5 rocks. And so they go out and they find 5 rocks and they put it down, have them count it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you can take 2 of those rocks away and say, I really like these rocks. May I have them? And they say yes, and go, okay, well now I have 2. How many do you have left? Count them out. 1, 2, 3. So if I take 2 away from 5, then how much is left? And then the child will say 3. And this is practical application. You could do that with candies, you could do it with oyster crackers, or you could do it with toothpicks. Just being able for them to touch it, to see it, to do it. Have them run outside, go find things, count things. These are all areas where education becomes very fun. Now, I have written a lot of children's books, and all of the children's books that I've written have these learning principles inside. For instance, this one, Let's Have a Picnic. It helps children create lists. List building is part of a learning strategy, getting them to write, to see, to think, which one goes first, which one goes second. And so in this one, we're building a picnic list, and we go through and we create lists, we check them off, and then we create paper plates and cups for our picnic. We have invitations, we have our mat, we actually have recipes because it's a Brazilian picnic. So we have recipes on how to make Brazilian chocolates and sandwiches, and we have Brazilian games, and it's a way to introduce culture and do learning as well. In fact, on the back, these plates are meant to be cut out so you could have plates for your doll friends. Then we have My School Books, which is a book of books, and you just go through and cut the books out, clip them together, and now there's books for your doll friend, which would be a great thing because your youngest ones can homeschool their doll friends and emulate and model what they are seeing, which is an excellent way to learn. Now I've got 10 Acts of Kindness, and in 10 Acts of Kindness is a sweet little story of how Alexis is challenged to do 10 Acts of Kindness. This would be a great book for today, where you give your child an act of kindness to do and then journal about it. And you don't have to have the book. You can do this at home with just a piece of paper. But in the book, in the back, it has a journal. And so after each act of kindness, then the child emulates this good behavior. We've got for our youngest, we have our book on Tatiana, and it's introducing Tatiana. And then the main idea of the story inside, you trace. So they're learning to write, and they're tracing, and they're finding the main ideas of the stories. Now, Elena is an artist, as you know. And so in the My Name is Elena book, we have areas where they learn about Elena's favorite artist, and then we're teaching about colors, and there's areas for them to draw. Like here, Elena drew her picture of her friend Alexis, and then they're invited to draw their picture as well. And so each book in its own way encourages a learning value. This one, which is called Let's Dig, takes Tatiana's love of archaeology, and the girls go on a trip, an archaeologist trip, and we learn and discover a bunch of different things about archaeology. We even have areas of science that explains the science behind archaeology, and then the girls go out and they uncover a pot. Now on the back cover, you're invited to cut out the pot and then go outside in the backyard and bury it, and then discover it like you've discovered it the very first time. These are the types of things that children enjoy, but they're learning at the same time. Now our latest book, Alexis Goes to Japan, has some really fun crafts. In fact, I'm going to do one of these on video. It shows how to make origami. It also teaches them how to use chopsticks. It has some coloring in the back pages so that they could color different things within the story. And you can even learn how to write. So I hope that you really enjoy this time of homeschooling and this experience between you and your child. All of the books that I have here and the ones that I didn't bring to the table can be found on Amazon. Just go into your Amazon and put in Alexis O'Shea and you'll find all of her books. Of course, you can find them at via-e.com. I only keep a small amount on hand, but I'm more than happy to ship them to you and share all of these stories. So my passion is about learning. I'm a teacher at heart, but I believe teachers are parents at heart, and we just love to help other people. So I hope that this note of encouragement and understanding about children and how they learn will help you in your days of homeschooling. We'll talk again soon. Bye.